Oh, meeting is now live streaming on YouTube, it says.
Yes, I tried YouTube this time rather than a custom live streaming service, which was the instructions that I've previously used to make it work.
Well, it reckons that we're on YouTube, so let's hope it's going. But obviously there's a delay,
But
so
hey,
we
that
might
is now
not.
working.
Hey.
Come on.
Hello. This is a completely new link, so someone is going to have to sort that out for me in the background. Though that's probably me. So one of you keep talking while I get everyone to come here.
Um, London, Paris, New York,
New
Rome.
York, Rome.
Keep going.
That's the ones again.
It's
But Harry
technical
doesn't mind.
difficulties. Oh, tears. What was the other song?
I don't mind. I get the
a
feeling.
feeling. That was so out of time with out of sync with our songs.
I click this link.
Oh.
I don't click bad links in chat.
Well, you should click this link because that is where we are. And if you have came over, then hello and welcome to episode 100 of Three Pints and a Clean Sheet. As ever, this has taken far too long. I am going to record this for Spotify.
Hi, Spotify.
Yeah, hi Spotify. Hello and welcome to episode 100 of Three Pints and a Clean Sheet. I feel like I've said that about 9,000 times now. We are live. I think people can hear us talk. And there are some people watching. Jake and Kieran are here. We've got here. Hello and welcome. Let's get cracked on with the weekend's action. I've already asked how you are about 1,000 times when people aren't watching, so I don't care about how people are. Let's start with the big news from today. It's finally gone. Manchester United have finally sacked Erik ten Hag. One word, immediate reaction. Robert, go.
Inevitable.
Kyle?
Good.
As a Liverpool fan, are you happy that Man United might be getting better?
It could also get worse.
Yes, they could also get worse. That is absolutely true. It was pretty bad. Sorry, I'm just confused as to what's happened to Kyle. We'd usually edit that out, but you can all see Kyle be a mess in real time this evening. Jake says appalling decision from the Red Devils.
Can I add in here?
Yes, you can, Robert.
When I said inevitable, I think it was you just knew that the board was going to make that decision. Not that I agreed with it. I just think you knew that was the direction they were going because they don't give anyone enough time to get a job done.
It's the decision they should have made after the FA Cup final last season. Thank you for the trophy, Eric. Now piss off.
True. I don't know why it's taken this long for such a decision. I don't know why West Ham defeat is the one.
Yeah, a West Ham defeat where they actually built on what was described as their best performance of the season last week against Brentford, and then played really well in the first half this weekend and hit the bar twice.
No, Dalot just decided not to want to score. So.
Oh yeah, also that Diogo Dalot. Diogo Dalot wanted Erik ten Hag to get sacked.
It's like that Gerrard clip where he looks back at the manager and misses his penalty. If you know, you know.
I mean, it was a bit of a sitter, to be honest.
It was an absolute sitter. It's not the worst sitter I've seen someone miss this weekend. The Erling Haaland miss was worse, in my opinion. But that's because he's Erling Haaland and are holding to a higher standard than Dalot. Yes, that game, for me, Man United were dominant first half, did absolutely nothing with it. And then Somerville just kind of creeps in at the back post and scores to put West Ham in front.
Yeah. Sorry, Chris said Somerville, Jake, don't get triggered, but
yes, Crescencio Somerville, formerly of Leeds.
Formerly the best player for Leeds.
Who are now where, Kyle?
I think they're struggling in the League One, Championship.
They're in the Championship. How did that
happen? Don't say League One. They'll not be happy. Peggy's made a really good point there, actually. More trophies in 2 years than Arteta and 6 if I speak. I got to agree there. It's a very good point to make.
He is it fair to say, he had time, but the problem is Man United has been so, I've said this so many times, Man United have been so unstable for so long, but they did equalise in this game, and do you think if they had got a point, that would have...
Sorry.
Inception. Do you think... do you think that... my brain's...
I don't think very much.
Inception. Do you think if it had finished one each, that Man United would have sacked ten Hag?
No.
No, do you think it's fake?
Nah, just would have literally, like I said, it was inevitable in the fact that they were going to do it, and they've just waited till the next loss. If it was next week, I think it would just been the same. It's going to be this constant cycle, and I feel like we've talked about it so many times as well. I
We
mean,
have.
you could probably count. I mean, and deservedly so because it's a interesting conversation. But I think if you look back, we always do the same. You just don't. He has had time, yes. He has won trophies, yes. It's this assumption that from the Man United fans that they should be winning the league every year, which hasn't been the case for a while. I do apologise about that. I was making sure the stream was actually still going and the volume was on.
Kyle, you did say you don't think they would have sacked him if he finished at 1-1. So how do you think it feels for Erik ten Hag that a referee being shit at his job is what's cost him his job at Man United?
I don't think the referee's the one shit at his job. I think it's him, hence why he's just been sacked.
Sorry, yeah, the VAR. The referee was good at his job. It was the VAR who was bad at his job, is what I'll posit at you. You think it was just Ten Hag's fault?
Oh, we shouldn't be in that position. Man U should be beating West Ham very, very, very comfortably.
I mean, it should also be said West Ham are mince.
Exactly, that's even worse.
But there's this assumption that Man United can't get beat by anyone. I feel like anyone can beat anyone in the Premier League at the moment, maybe apart from City, but unless playing not particularly good. You know what I'm trying to say?
Anyone could beat anyone unless you're City or Southampton, Ipswich or Wolves. Then you can't beat anyone.
Yes, we'll come on to that.
We will come on to that.
Just wait till they play Newcastle. Ken Wolves already have, but the other two.
Southampton already have.
Ipswich will do it.
Fine. I bet you they fucking will as well.
Actually, I've said it, so probably not. But
yeah, that's true. If you put the Kyle Palmer curse on, yeah, you're right, Robert. But it should be said they need to get out of this psyche. Man United are now a mid-table Premier League club.
Yeah, they are.
Don't get me wrong. I think the good days will come back. I just think that they've got to go with the progressive cycle. It's not going to happen overnight.
Not anytime soon. They're not going to get the good days back when he's trying to cut, the new owners came and said, yes, I'm going to make this football club great. He's done exactly the same as the old owners in the summer, which is spaff a load of money. Although, to be fair, we did say the recruitment was very good in the summer, but he's also said, I'm going to save money in a load of other places. And so far, that's meant getting all the backroom staff to go into the office and not work from home, which is completely pointless, and not fly a plane to the Balon D'Or and ask Man City if there was any space, which, when I read last week, has reminded me that the banter years are still alive and well with the Man United ownership.
Nothing wrong with playing Paul, is there?
I'm absolutely outraged that they have sacked or getting rid of the receptionist. I can't remember her name. Someone like, let's just say she's called Brenda. How many good years of service has she given that club? It's an outrage.
But that, the place is still an absolute circus. The players evidently still have an ego problem.
I bet that Fernandes he's the ringleader of this ego.
Is he not the captain?
He was. I don't think he still is.
Is that not partially the problem?
Probably giving it to Johnny Evans now. Just let him take the brunt of it.
Johnny Evans is a man who shouldn't even be at Man United. And even Man United would admit that they signed him for a backup and then he was man of the match in their game against Aston Villa. A club that's well run doesn't do that kind of thing on the reg.
He's a good player, though. Can't take it away from him.
He's 35.
So?
Minimum. He's probably older than that.
He's still got it, though. He's still doing it for Man U.
He's 36.
Thanks.
I'll go back to what we were talking about, which was West Ham versus Man United. And what a good penalty from Bowen it was under the pressure. I thought it didn't look like he was going to miss it. Onana going the right way, he just tucked it in very nicely.
I mean, I've already said my thoughts on the penalty decision. I think everyone on the planet can tell you it's not a penalty.
I thought it was, for what it's worth.
Really?
From my perspective, he just kind of claps him. No, I just think his intellect's just kind of kicked him. And he's
that's just not true, though, is it, Kyle? Tell us what you really think.
I thought the intellect kicked the fella, I can't remember who it was, and then went down in a heap. Penalty given.
There we go. I will not stand for that on this live stream. I will remove him if he has wrong decisions.
I've said nothing at all. I'll end up going myself. You better bring him back.
I'm admitting him back. He's apparently joining. This is going well. I've kicked him out of our live stream. Yeah, it's not a penalty.
He's back.
You can't silence the truth.
Oh no, this is what I do to people who are wrong. Yeah, that's you. Wrong.
You
On
can't.
your Irons.
You can't shackle me.
It's
This is slander. I'm not having it.
Oh, I even seen Kyle say Keenan on the chat say remove Kyle, please. I didn't even see that when I removed Kyle.
Greg, we trust. Don't let him say that. His head will get in bigger than it already is.
It already struggles to fit through my front door at times. Candidates for the next job. There is an odds-on candidate. I think these odds have changed since I looked them up when he was sacked earlier today. Ruud van Nistelrooy is an interim charge. There was rumours he was going to be permanent charge. But the man who has been very strongly linked, including by football's biggest wanker, Fabrizio Romano, is Ruben Amorim.
Notably, Liverpool's sloppy seconds.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about him.
Don't know much about him, to be honest.
Done good work at Sporting.
Yeah.
He must have been bad if Liverpool said no.
Well, to be fair, I take it this was for the Klopp replacement, and
Yeah.
they'll have been lining up Arne Slot regardless, I think.
I think it was between the two of them, and they went for Slot. I don't know why it broke down. Can't even mind.
Well, that's the other thing, though. Like, Man United were reported to have had talks with Ruben Amorim in the international break, I believe. So, like, we could kind of see this coming. The other candidates, I think, are funny to go through because one of them's been very heavily linked, and the others are just great banter. So, other candidates in order include Gareth Southgate at 7-2. I've previously expressed my opinions on that potential appointment with Ha, and furthermore, Ha.
I want to see Southgate in charge of Man United.
Yes, because then I'll get to watch them at the Cardiff City Stadium next year.
Cardiff getting promoted.
Nope, Man United are going down if they appoint Southgate.
I don't think it'll be as severe as you're making out, but I don't think it'll be as good as folk think.
No, Gareth Southgate at Man United would be an unmitigated disaster, and there's no way anyone can convince me otherwise.
I think Gareth Southgate could convince you otherwise. He's got Harry Maguire at his disposal week in, week out.
Gareth Southgate could not stand the media pressure of the England job. He'd be going into another job with the same media pressure and this time have to deal with batshit owners. It wouldn't work.
True, but...
And arguably, in fact, I don't think even arguably, Gareth Southgate failed with England full stop, in my opinion.
Debatable.
To not win anything with that squad, and to make an arse out of that Euros just there. He failed with England. He failed with Middlesbrough. He's failed at every managerial job he's had.
Got to the final, though, twice.
You can't argue with two
Great.
finals.
The minimum expectation for England should be the final.
Played a good
in the
Italy.
Euros.
They played a good Italy team and a very good Spain team, so...
They scored in, the 3rd minute of the final against Italy? And lost on pens?
Look shocked. What a man.
Then England are terrible in penalties, as this old saying goes.
Like... You actually, to make it even worse for you, you had a Euros where they lost in the final against Italy when they had every game apart from one at home. And then this Euros, they almost made an arse of numerous times. They had the world's easiest run.
But then you can only play what's in front of you.
Yeah, the only good team they played was Spain and they lost to them. Therefore, he failed. Moving on, Thomas Frank, we've said this before, won't go, has been very public about the fact he's quite happy at Brentford.
Probably a step down right about now, to be honest.
Quite frankly, yes.
Get a good
Xavi.
Can't see it.
Better work, but he's not really proven, is he?
It would be really funny because how much do you think, like, Man U, did they not hound Jose and Van Gaal for being a bit boring?
Van Gaal was a boring guy.
But if they sack people for being boring, there was obviously other problems, but they had problems with the style. Xavi is that kind of coach. Xavi is very defensively minded. I don't see that working, especially not in the current Man United squad where the defence is part of the problem. To be fair, the whole team is part of the problem, but the defence is the worst bit of it.
They might think he's a pet regen, though, and they might just bring out some tiki-taka nonsense.
Yeah, but he's not, though, is he?
Apparently, Xavi has had Barcelona cooking for the first time, so he's going nowhere.
Is it not Hansi Flick who's got Barcelona really cooking for the very first time?
Because Xavi got sacked last season.
Yeah. That's why we're not having you on for a second week in a row, Pagan.
Maybe Nice
7
try.
to 1. Graham Potter and Michael Carrick. Michael Carrick, obviously, at Middlesbrough. Still, is he gone? Have I just done the same mistake as Pagan?
I'm not too sure.
I think he's
That's
still
just
Middlesbrough.
Graham Potter out of work. I know that one.
I think
Michael Carrick is still at Middlesbrough. I'm all
I think
good. I don't have
Carrick's
to
ship.
be concerned.
I think the Carrick ship sailed. I think he's going to pass his time.
Everyone's going to say, everyone's going to say no, and they're going to give it to Wayne Rooney.
Do you know what? He's on the list. He's 100 to 1. And do you know what? I can firmly say if Man United didn't go to the Championship with Gareth Southgate, they're going to the Championship with Wayne Rooney as manager.
I think it'd be quite clutch for them.
Just so
I've
everyone can
watched
start
Wayne Rooney
going.
teams twice this season. I can tell you, quite frankly, Wayne Rooney is not a good manager.
Just so everyone can start going, Rooney, Rooney again.
Well, his wee boy plays for them, so maybe that's their next hope.
Yeah, Gary Neville, another failed former manager at 100 to 1 as well.
Nah, he's too cushy in that Sky Sports team. Why would he ever even consider that?
Why would he move from moaning about Man United to, like, other
Being the
people
being the
in
problem.
his job moaning at him about Man United?
I mean, I wouldn't personally. It'll tarnish his legacy, man.
Yeah,
Very much
that's
so.
that's the other thing. It'll be fun to see what happens. I think the club's still in a bit of a mess. We all predicted they'd finish fourth. I don't think that's going to happen now. Chelsea look too good, in my opinion.
I don't know where it came from, but
This came from Enzo Maresca being good. But that sounds like the end of the Man United chat. Who do you think Man United should appoint? I said Man United there, didn't I? Who do you think Man United should appoint? Let us know in the live chat. Kyle, I'll keep an eye on it and we'll talk about it a bit later on. Before that, let's do the classic 4:30 on a Sunday game. Arsenal 2, Liverpool 2. Satisfying afternoon, Kyle. Arsenal still plenty points behind you.
well, I wanted a win, but I think the way the game went, a draw was all right because we probably should have got beat. They looked quite good.
Yeah,
Arsenal, I mean, not Liverpool. Liverpool looked shite.
I think that sums it up. I thought Liverpool stole a point, to be brutally honest.
Had their chances, and they took safe chances. So Arsenal should have really done it.
You've usually got a page of notes, Robert.
Yeah.
Any
got a
notes
few,
about
if
this
you
game?
want. Yeah, I thought it was a good finish from Saka, first of all.
Yeah.
Also for the equaliser, Van Dijk does well to get onto that, to be honest. I think he's quickest to react.
You know what I'm going to say. I say it every fucking week.
I know, but you can say it again.
Put someone on the back post. They might get in the way of that.
And my final point was, I'm going to give him some credit for a change. I thought Nunez's ball was excellent through to Salah. There was at least two Arsenal players like pressing on, and I don't know. Let's be honest. Given his antics in the past, you thought he'd just hit it wide or tried to shoot, but I thought it was a great ball, and Salah was never going to miss.
Yeah, I think Gary Neville said that. Like at the time, you expect Nunez to muck that up.
Yeah, and
We're talking about Gary Neville.
Excellent ball.
The thing I find the most interesting is the two goals. So that goal that you just mentioned, the Salah goal, and the Saka goal, the first one that you also mentioned. Interesting to see the teams kind of going along. I know we're not going to talk about it, but Palace obviously scored against, they scored against Spurs, not doing that, but it's because Spurs got played from the back. But Palace had some success in behind Spurs. It's kind of happening again. The big teams are kind of the first to do it. But there is, especially when teams play a high line, there's a lot of success to be found in behind the channels. And the long ball's starting to become fashionable again.
Man City have been doing it for weeks.
Yeah, they have.
So Pep's really paved the way again. He's such a revolutionary.
Yes.
That's just because you put him in your Mount Rushmore.
And need to back it up somehow. Sorry, ignore me. Continue.
Yes.
I'm just catching up on the live chat. I don't know if you want to pick up on
That's
some
what I
of
was
the
doing when I
suggestions.
My other point about this game, I thought Kanate was incredibly lucky not to concede a penalty.
Nah, Kimmy's doing.
Of all the penalties given in overtime this weekend, for me, that one is a penalty.
Nonsense.
Delightful.
I can tell what the answer, the verdict to that is because I can't quite recall what you're talking about in my head. Just I think I forgot. But Kyle's reaction sums it up, to be honest.
What, that Kyle knows it was a penalty?
Kyle knows nothing. Wait, he knows the play.
Take what you
Yes,
want.
Kyle knows nothing. Kyle said it was nonsense, and Kyle knows nothing. I was right. Talking about people who know nothing, I should apologise to my downstairs neighbours and my upstairs neighbours for the words I was using at the referee when Chelsea awarded a penalty in added time at Chelsea 2, Newcastle 1. I was livid.
You would be though. You're always wrong.
That's where I want to start in this. Because initially, when I watched it play, the words came out of my mouth of "get up," and then I could not believe he gave a penalty.
Who's the referee? Was that not Simon Hooper? Or was that a different game?
Yes.
Nah, he's a wrong one.
Cool. Nice to see the past's not getting in the way of your current beliefs, Kyle.
It just is. I don't know what it is. He's just got a big wrong face.
Cole Palmer doing the business again with not quite the assist, but like the fantastic
What a
ball for
ball.
Neto.
What a ball! And obviously he had a goal at the start that was offside.
He did.
Very, very
Newcastle though, like that offside goal and the goal that Jackson eventually scores. Why the hell are Newcastle playing that high line, given the two centre halves are 30-plus-year-old Fabian Schär, who I love, but 30-plus-year-old Fabian Schär against a Chelsea side with a shit ton of pace, with Dan Burn next to him, is never going to end well.
Yeah, I mean
It was good.
the teamwork for that first Chelsea goal was great.
It really was. Good to have Alex Isak back for Newcastle equaliser. However, late on, he really should have passed. He had a go at goal, and he really should have passed.
Yeah, why has he not squared it? I mean, and to be fair, his goal would have been harder to miss, but he should be kicking himself. Why has he not squared that? It would have been easier to just pass it through. I
Yeah.
can't remember who was coming in the back post, but
No, Longstaff.
yeah, I think
No, it was Joe Lennon.
So, okay, there
I
was.
think it was Longstaff.
There was two of them, but Joe Lennon
Yeah.
was the one I would have wanted.
Is that because Longstaff's useless?
No. Sean Longstaff made that game, like, Sean Longstaff improved the Newcastle performance when he came on.
Christ.
Sean Longstaff, like, made it, like, because Chelsea were just passing it through Newcastle at will, and Sean Longstaff actually brought some steel to that midfield.
Am I hearing this right?
That kind of is the problem for Newcastle this season. There's lofty ambitions of getting into Europe. It's not going to happen. Top 10's like a positive. We said it in the transfer review at the start of the season. Newcastle, I would say recruited badly, but signed basically no one unless you're talking about the 5 goalkeepers they signed. Alongside William Osula, a striker who scored no Premier League goals. Like, the Newcastle squad, especially in comparison with the teams they're meant to be competing with, is shit.
Yeah, I can't argue for once.
Like you've got to cut Eddie Howe some slack. I know he's getting a bit of stick from Newcastle fans, but like there's not much. Like there's rumours that he's fell out with the new director of football, Paul Mitchell. Like you can kind of see that the way this is going is at the end of the season, Eddie Howe's walking away, and I really don't want it to end like that. But like they were going to spend 70-odd million on a centre half in Gay, which I'm glad they didn't because I don't think he's worth that money. I would rather they spent 30 million plus on like a centre half, which is desperately needed, and someone up front to replace Almiron, which is more desperately needed.
I forgot about him until I seen him line up on Sunday.
Yeah, because he had that one really, really good spell and then nothing.
I thought he was selling. I remember he was going to leave, and I thought he was away. Turns out, isn't it?
Yeah, I wish he had.
That's a bloody shame. Everything he'd done for you.
Literally, the solution to replace Almiron was there in Minty. They just got rid of Minty for no reason. The solution to Newcastle's midfield being full of people who aren't that brilliant is Elliot Anderson, who they got rid of.
I got that Odeas fella. He's quite good.
Pronounce his surname? I don't know who you're talking about. You need to tell me his surname.
Can you give me a minute to look it up first?
Nope.
Odeas is...
Cool. Moving
Odeas
on.
is V.
A late addition to the running order because I thought it was really interesting, some of the stuff that's come out of this game. Can tell me like if you have no opinion on it, which is completely fair. One, I saw Robert Easley's triple captain this week, which we'll get onto in the FPL update. Watching Man City 1 Southampton 0, Haaland could have had about 6.
Don't remind me.
They got one.
I saw Southampton get a lot of credit for the way they played against Man City and the fact they only lost 1-0. No,
They defended well.
just no.
I thought they defended quite well.
I thought Man City missed a hatful.
Ramsey made
Like,
some
it
good
was
saves.
1-0 going on about 9, especially if you know Ramsdale, and they had a couple of chances. Like, it's actually, them not scoring is worse than pretty much every other team this season, because lots of teams have scored against Man City, especially at home.
Yeah, but your best pal's up front, so they're not going to do much for him.
Who?
Diaz.
Oh, true. I thought you meant Adam Armstrong because he used to play for Newcastle.
No.
Like, that was like, you had Russell Martin in the interview afterwards doing the most embarrassing, oh, if we're going to come here and lose, I'd rather lose in a style we're happy with. I'd rather you didn't lose. I'd rather you came, sat with 10 men behind the ball, hunted it long all game and drew 0-0. That would be better.
I thought you hated them.
I mean, it would be better for them. It would be, not as good for me. Southampton, like, as much as people have said, if Southampton keep playing like that, and we're going to come on to it because we're going to talk about Ipswich in a minute, because Kieran McKenna basically said the same thing in his interview. If they're going to play like that all season, they're going to be fine. They're not. They're going to go down.
I think with Ramsdale being as good as he is, he'll be the one to save them and keep them up if they stay up.
I enjoyed Pagan's comment in the chat there saying, only bad teams get praised when they get beat. They'll be pushing for Derby County's record at this rate. I agree. Southampton are shit. Moving on to another team who aren't very good. Ipswich, who spaffed a 2-0 lead and lost 4-3 away to Brentford in an absolutely mental game with an absolutely mental winning goal. Like Brentford's every other game this season.
Another early goal for Ipswich, a lad. Did they not score early against City as well?
Oh, they did. I thought you meant Brentford there because Brentford were on that amazing run.
No, sorry, I meant Ipswich.
Yeah, Ipswich went 2-0 up quick.
Played
in half an hour.
Played it the wrong game.
It's a neutral stream game, that, with 7 goals.
Yeah, it really is. Thomas, like, both managers, like, it's funny that the manager who won was pissed off after the game and the manager who lost was quite happy.
Obviously, I have a good word to say. Brentford is the entertainers. They're playing entertainingly now.
I'm sorry.
Could you try to give a straight face?
Could you please give the people what they want and read Aaron Ease's comment, please?
Double chunk chocolate cookie.
Let's try to keep going, but I couldn't.
Hello, Ewan. Your mother says she's fine.
Oh, steady. Bring the boom. Greg brings the boom. He prefers the chicken bake.
Anyway,
back to what we're talking about.
Ipswich being shit.
The penalty looked outside the box at first glance, I thought, when I was watching it. Like, it was one of those that just seemed to go on forever, that tackle.
Yeah, it was one of those, the referee gave a free kick, and I seem to go back and forward on VAR. I've gone from VAR to get scrapped to now, like, who cares, because the referees are so bad anyway.
Sorry.
No, yeah.
I nearly go away from the live chat.
Right.
Sorry, right, continue.
Right. No, carry on.
No, it's just, you're right, the penalty did start at the box and they did carry in, so that's why it's a penalty.
Yes.
And I did think it was a penalty, so I'm not going to...
No.
You argue otherwise.
No, it was a penalty.
I thought it was.
I don't know, it just looked like it had... I just thought obviously it was checked in that, but it just looked like it was outside the box at the time.
Yeah, it started outside the box. No one's debating that.
Surely if it starts, that's where...
No, if it's a hold, if it continues in the box, it's a penalty.
That's where it ends.
In my head, it's just because it started outside the box, but fair enough. I'll take that one on the chin. And obviously a red card at the end.
I thought the red card was a wee bit harsh.
Second yellow, wasn't it?
But yeah.
I don't know how many fouls he had in between that. It was because it was like right on the edge of the box.
I thought it was a penalty, to be fair, because where it was, alas.
Yeah,
Well, that's quite unfortunate for that boy.
Yeah, the boy who also like failed in clearing it off the line for the second Brentford goal, the equaliser. He's just had a bad day all round.
Push it with his hands. Getting sent off anyway.
I will say one, Ipswich kind of went direct for their first goal as well, and their third goal from Liam Delap. Like, what an incredible ball from Leif Davis that is.
Leaf.
Yes.
They played well at Ipswich. I quite enjoyed watching it.
Yeah, and just think how good Leeds United could be. They might be in the Premier League if they hadn't sold Leif Davis.
And Calvin Phillips.
Yeah, and all their good players and being managed by Sam Allardyce. Well, I digress again. Once again, people said, "Oh, if Ipswich play like that all season, they're going to be fine." It's going to be November, and there's going to be 3 teams without a Premier League win.
Well, somebody's got to win eventually, surely.
No, because they'll just play each other in all draw.
And they can't all stay
Southampton and
up.
Ipswich not already play each other in draw?
Probably, to be honest,
I'm pretty confident they
stuck in the
did.
brain.
Southampton's goals are just games have all merged into one.
Yeah, all one big lump of them being shit.
I can't wait. I can't wait for them to beat Newcastle next time round.
That's fine. I don't care.
Probably
He'll
relegated,
be off
though.
that week. He'll be off that following week.
May I remind you who Derby County beat when they got their records?
Please enlighten us because I was a
Newcastle.
7-year-old. All right.
Nah.
That's never shite though. Stop.
This week, coming, Wolves are at home at Crystal Palace on the telly at 5:30 in a game described as going to be shit. Southampton, Everton, and Ipswich Leicester are the other games for those at the bottom. Everton are doing quite well at the minute.
Oh, that sounds better.
I was going to say that hurt. That hurt to say. I could sense it.
Well, that's the thing. Everton are doing all right, so I need someone else to dunk on, and it's Southampton, so that's fine. And
I was going to say the ever-growing list of teams that you don't like is growing quite vastly.
But like Ipswich Leicester, has got like a 1-1 draw and Steve Cooper sacked on the end of it, right?
I don't think he's getting sacked.
I think he has.
There's nobody else to take over.
It's pretty horrendous if your opposition away fans are chanting your manager's name in a derby.
Oh, you never know. Might still do a wee swapper in.
But yes, talking of fans chanting the opposition manager's name in the derby, Annan Athletic fans might have done that on Saturday. You two were there. Annan won Queens 0. I watched it on the telly due to being otherwise located. What a horrendous game of football.
It wasn't too good to watch. Frustrating. Cold, wet, sad. That's all. Yeah, that's all really again. I mean, I was
Cold, wet,
absolutely livid
sad.
after it. Yeah, I mean, Queens. I mean, they had chances, but
First half they did everything but score, and second half they just looked horrendous.
yeah, fair play to Annan. They defended well. Can't really take away from that. Kieran's obviously happy that we're talking about this now. Aye, Annan deserved it. Ouch, that hurt.
My highlight was standing in the chip van queue for about 40 minutes.
Yeah, get that sorted.
That was terrible.
There we go. Yeah, Jake saying Queens were easy and predictable. I think that sums it up quite well. Had no midfield. I thought Lyon had a shocker, to be brutally honest.
Yeah, well, I can't remember him doing much, so that sums it up. He's usually quite impactful, but
Dickinson had a ton of chances, and then as kind of a scene against Montrose, he stopped trying after an hour.
getting all load legs.
It was just as if like it wasn't happening, and he just kind of accepted it wasn't happening.
Yeah, which makes it more frustrating.
I think it was the whole team just kind of gave up after an hour.
And Queens have still not scored an away goal.
Yeah, it's not good viewing that stat. But
No.
the thing that blows my mind is we're not still about 3 points off the top.
Yeah, we're like 7th.
Yes.
Just one good run then. We're sorry.
This league, again, as has been, I think I've said this many times because the work colleague of mine who supports Alloa has basically said this league is full of teams desperate not to get promoted, basically. Like, not out of their own will, they're just all shit.
But this is the year that you want to win it because this is your best chance.
I think we said that at the start of the season for Queens. Like, this is the moment for Queens with,
Well,
like, Yeah, no big teams really in the league.
The dream
Inverness.
scenario was that we got rid of Falkirk and Hamilton.
Yeah, and we did.
Yeah, exactly. So
We got two absolute
anyways.
diddies who came down.
And let's be honest, regardless of how terrible you are, Inverness are probably now going down, being on -3.
And the Barton are red rotten, so they're also probably going to go down.
Also that.
Yeah.
And that Annan weren't too good themselves.
That's
Can't really
the
make
thing
any
that
comments on that.
but that's the thing that really annoyed me. That Annan are a team that are tough to beat, but they're not that good.
Resilient, I think, maybe.
Yeah.
They know how to
Like they're
bring good
not
results.
yeah, they're not a team that I think would batter anyone, but they're a team that's really hard to like. You've got to be on your game to beat them.
We just struggled to break them down.
Yeah.
In the second half, anyway.
They battered us, they were scoring 100 goals.
Mm.
Did
They
they?
battered us psychologically. Another kind of local Dumfries and Galway derby took place on Friday night, and you were both there on Friday night as well.
Yeah, we were. It was
For
actually a
3-2 Stranraer.
really good watch.
Much better than that other shite on Saturday night.
Yeah.
Literally. Honestly, first half you'd have thought that they were in the same league. You know what I mean? League three took it to them. They really did. And this second half comes around and Stranraer obviously kind of show their level, I think, start to come back into it. But obviously, three going into the break 1-0 up. Not something we expected, I don't think. But yeah, it was great for them. Also, the second goal that came in the second half, they deserved them both. I thought they were both well worked goals.
They were.
Stranraer getting
Threave looked the
Stranraer,
better side for the first half
definitely.
minimum.
Stranraer getting back into it, and for an equaliser, what a hit it was! I'll tell you what, it was like it was in slow motion watching it on the ground. Honestly, it seemed to fly for ages, and he couldn't have put it better.
Yeah.
Great in the stanchion.
Yes.
Kieran says,
and
Kyle, check your Discord. I've sent you a cheeky message.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
Cool.
And obviously, it's like gutting in for Thief, let's be honest. You know what I mean? We conceded the last kick of the game, red card as well. But I have to say, they did CD proud. You know what I mean? They put up a fight. What are Stranraer?
5 divisions?
Leagues?
5, 6? It was one of them.
I thought it was 4, but I thought maybe 5. But anyway, the odds weren't in their favour and they did really well. So I think they deserve a bit of
5, I think.
Some credit.
Yeah, I think the thing for me was the minute Stranraer, like the Stranraer player said this in his interview afterwards, the minute Stranraer got one back, you thought, and I don't know if it was the same for you guys in the ground, but
Yeah.
certainly watching it on the telly, the minute Stranraer got one back, you thought, oh shit, here we go. Then they score that peach of an equaliser and you go, right, there's one winner in this game then.
Yeah, we all kind of said that watching it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I was saying at halftime when we were having discussion, and it went on for ages because we know that Kyle and myself aren't really fond of halftime. That I was like, they need a second goal quickly to get this cushion, and obviously the cushion came. But like you said, as soon as Shar scored, it was inevitable, to be honest. But I really did feel for Three. They did put up a good fight.
that second goal was worth winning any game, to be fair. So
Yeah, literally. Absolutely fantastic hit. His interview afterwards, where he was just like, do you know what? I just thought, let's have a pot and see what happens.
I feel like when you hit a shot for that far out, you've got to score.
Yeah.
Great to see the ground so busy. I just thought it was well run as well. We were quite late. We were quite late getting there, but we arrived just as the game kind of kicked off, and it just great to see as many folk.
Over
run, so
1,000, I think it was.
That's more than's been at some Queen's games this season.
Yeah, no, that's the frightening end of the light field.
The other thing to say, I think, is I thought the BBC did really well. One, to pick that game, which ended up being as good as it was. Two, I thought their coverage was really quite good. Obviously, like they had people who knew about football in the Dumfries area.
Well,
Like, they had Cammy Bell, they had Rory Lloyd and Co-Coms.
Dave Aarons.
Yeah, like they had people who know what they're talking about. And it would have been really easy to just rock up and have people who knew nothing. And I think they need to get a lot of credit for that, for finding the right people and making it an actual really good show.
Yeah, there was Jake's added there was 1,039 in attendance.
And the Stranraer fans made it adamant they didn't like Dumfries.
Yeah, we hate Dumfries and we hate Dumfries.
Well, Dumfries haters.
Yeah, and when they weren't actually in Dumfries, so Riddle that one.
And Sonara's and Dumfries and Galloway, but
Yeah, but I'll take that. Like, just you're not in Dumfries. Who cares?
well, they're in Dumfries and Galloway, so they're kind of saying they hate themselves in theory.
Nah.
No.
Hate us all the way. We'll beat them.
Last on the running order.
Pagan.
We previewed it last week. Pagan, you're up. Hibs won, Hearts won. A result that will satisfy absolutely nobody.
Maybe David Gray.
I don't think he'll be satisfied with it. I don't think he was.
Someone's got to be happy.
I think it's probably the Hearts fans.
Pulled it back.
Could have
We
They
should
were
have won
happy.
it beforehand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they're happy compared to how they were feeling 10 minutes before the end.
Yeah, literally. That's a good way to put it.
Two goals
It was a
from set
strange one.
pieces.
It was a strange one. I thought for the Hibs first and only, but obviously the first goal I meant Gordon kind of tips it on the bar. It's as if he could have just pushed it right over. I don't know. Could he and should he have done better, or am I just being a bit?
You're the goalkeeper expert. I thought it was an all right attempt. I was more confused about what the two Hearts players that like. You can just tell the Hibs player wants it more. The Stranraer players, not Stranraer
Stranraer.
players.
Bloody hell.
The Hearts players, same sound. The Hearts players seem to be happy to let the ball drop.
Okay, what I think it was. I think I've said it before. Put a man on the post.
That's such a good idea. Why did someone never came up with that?
It was sloppy defending. Gordon was probably not to blame, in my opinion.
Yeah, I thought Gordon had a really good game actually.
Kept them in it.
Yeah. Going on at the Hearts
Dwight
goal.
Gale looking quite good as well. I thought.
Yeah, him and Hoylett. Hoylett looks good as well.
Ryan
Put
Barkley's
some
in
good balls in.
Looking
Aye.
forward to their trip to Palmerston Park next year in the Scottish Championship.
it.
Mm.
I can't see them playing.
Which one is more doubtful? Hibs getting relegated, Queens getting promoted, or Hoylett and Gale staying?
What was the third one?
But I know I wanted to talk about the Hearts goal. I think it was really well taken in the circumstances.
Yeah,
So
he gambles, in my opinion.
yeah, and it pays off.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna give Pagan a shout out here. I put it in a group chat earlier on. I believe it was him that said it. It shows what the issue. Like obviously, look at the limbs, as they would say, and the way end, and then you think the Old Firm's not had fans for years. It just ruins it. It's so bad for that. I don't mean to always link things back to the Old Firm, but I just thought it was an interesting point. You know what I mean? Just
The
having no away
Edinburgh
fans
Derby is now the best
rubbish.
derby in Scotland in terms of experience. Watch it.
Steve Stranraer.
Sorry, yeah. Anyway,
I was going to say, two sets of fans who could behave at their age, not their shoe size.
I think you'll find that Hibs Hearts can notably not behave, and there was stuff thrown on the pitch again.
I was going to say,
I mean, that's-
what was it last season? Chucking stuff at Shank. I wouldn't go
That's
that
Was
far.
that what year did they chuck the chips? Was that 2 seasons ago they chucked the chips?
Isn't that the
No,
pie?
it was the pie cut last year. I'm sure it was one of the
Last year, season before.
Well, I mean, last year he got a pie. I mean, sword.
Moving on. This is episode 100, as I've said about a billion times when I tried to start the live stream. So we asked you guys for some questions. If you've got some more questions for us, please put them in the chat. But before that, because Robert has just messaged me, the Balon D'Or winner has been announced. Take it away, Robert.
Drum roll, please.
No.
Sweet greeting face Rodri that's won it.
Yes, it was 3 players who we knew weren't at the ceremony because they hadn't won it, and Rodri.
Aye.
Who was the top 3 then? Come on. We need to know. The folk want to know. Me, I want to know.
I know who
Rodri.
I know who the top 4 were.
Rodri was number 1. I'll let you go. You do it.
The top 4, like I don't know what order, but obviously Rodri won it, and then the 3 after that were Vinicius, Bellingham, and Carvajal.
Yeah, I had on my list. I wanted Bellingham and Vinicius after, but yeah,
Carvajal's definitely 4th out of that list.
I would imagine so.
He's not just won it because his trophies he's won as opposed to being a good player.
I thought Carvajal played really well for Real Madrid last season.
Yeah, but his right backs don't tend to get a lot of praise. That's my theory.
Yeah, Trent Alexander-Arnold wants to be the first fullback to win the Balon d'Or. Well, do you need to be a bit better for that, mate?
No, he's a good midfielder.
Yeah. I think this is a well-deserved winner. I think there will be some controversy around it, and people will want Vinicius. Ultimately, I know he didn't play the final, or he only played half of the final. Winning the Euros probably tipped it for Rodri for me.
I think it's a worthy winner. He's been Man City's key, not best, but he's been their key player for umpteen years.
Yeah, Kieran, if the people need to disagree with Rodri, they need their eyes checked.
I agree.
I really agree as well. He is a worthy winner. Not someone, if you ask me who's going to win it, I would have picked. So I'm very glad they've picked Rodri. I would have expected it to be Vinicius. So it's great to see that they've picked someone who I think is the right candidate.
Against a defensive player, you don't see them getting too much praise, so it's good to see that.
Great to see.
Yeah, exactly.
Other notable award winners tonight, the one that I want to touch on anyway, because I think it's really interesting and opens an interesting debate for us. Emi Martinez winning the Yashin Award for the second year running for the best goalkeeper in the world. I heard a debate about this somewhere else last week, where people were talking about how Villa fans sing that Emi Martinez is the world's #1 keeper. And then you have to stop and think about it to go, do you know what? Yeah.
I can't think anyone off the top of my head at the moment is probably a standout. I mean,
Alisson.
Exactly.
playing in the
No.
Premier League and like his nation won the World Cup. I know it wasn't this year, but you know what I mean. In years gone, would have been for last year's sake anyway. No,
I would say your
the year before. Sorry,
two Brazilians, and Ederson and Alisson are up there.
I think like the fact there's two of them makes it harder as well.
Oh, Alisson personally, but I would get biased.
Yes, you are a little bit biased. I think Emi Martinez is a worthy winner of that. We are going to do your questions though. Give you some chance for anyone in the chat. Kieran's saying David Raya is a shout. No, he's not. Get your eyes checked. He's inherited the Spain's #1 or #2 keeper choice only because Unai Simon's injured. He's not even #1 for his country.
I was going to say Donnarumma, but he's kind of past it. He's not even that old.
Has he actually done that much? Well, he won Euros,
No.
I suppose. I don't think. I think a lot of the people get pushed into this argument are based on reputation of popularity as opposed to actually performing.
Martinez performs for Villa. My other thing is, does it say a lot about the quality of keeper that's out there that we can't pick an outstanding candidate?
Maybe there's that many who are good as opposed to bad.
But that's what I mean. There's that many who are good, but are there any who are fantastic and really stand out?
I would say we grew up with Neuer as a standout for years. And we're used to having a standout and we've not got that anymore.
But if you also had Buffon and Casillas before that.
A wee bit. But
You actually did have standout keepers. Now there's not really.
And Alan McGregor.
Right. If you'd said Craig Gordon, I might have been with you. But
was a wait for Craig Gordon to pop up in the chat.
Yeah. But that is the thing for me. There's not, like, if you're a top club and you want a keeper, who would you sign right now? Look at what Liverpool have kind of done.
I think that Georgian fella.
Sign Ramadaashvili and loan him out for a bit because they think he's going to come good in time.
Bit weird when you got Kelleher, who's good.
You've also got Kobel for Dortmund, got to Champions League final.
You don't hear much about him. Maybe that's because he plays in Germany. We live in Britain.
Yeah.
There's plenty of good keepers, but you wouldn't sign them. They're all quite old because they peak quite late.
Yeah, like they're not. I don't think there's an outstanding. I think, as you say, Kyle, there's a lot of good ones, but no one outstanding at the minute. Other questions we've had.
Sorry,
I've just read something.
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree with what Jake said. Mr. Robert Adams did, in fact, save a penalty on the Threave pitch many moons ago. In case anyone did not know, I've only mentioned it once or twice. So, thank you for reminding me, Jake. Much appreciated.
Yes. Other questions, please put them in the chat. Let's start with some of the ones in here. With many Americans and celebrities buying into English clubs, obviously Rihanna and some rapper I've never heard of were rumoured last week to be buying Tranmere. Someone who knows about popular culture, please tell me who that rapper was.
ASAP Rocky.
Thank you. Who's that?
Business partners with Rihanna by Tranmere Rovers.
Cool. Do you think any Scottish clubs are soon to follow suit? There was a story a week or two ago about Denmark's wealthiest man going to buy Dundee United. Like, I don't know.
I have heard a story about this, actually. Not Dundee United. There's an ex-US president going to buy a team in the Scottish League One.
No, there's not.
Yeah, there is.
It's someone at my work going to be very happy about it.
I hope so. So he's got to rebrand them everything. So it's got to become.
Come on, you want to go through it now.
He's going to change the name from Aloe Athletic to Barack Aloe. That's one for the OGs out there.
Craig's been decapitated.
Someone answer the question sensibly, please.
It's thrown me. You have to tell me the question again. Hopefully someone buys Queens. Puts a bit of money in. There you go.
Yeah,
CeeLo
Calvin, get on
Queens.
it. I've heard that man who owns Border Lubricants, I've heard he's going to buy Queen of the South.
Oh, let's hope so.
But yeah, there are Americans and celebrities buying English clubs because they've seen the success of the documentaries that Wrexham have had. I think they've bought into the Wrexham story a bit. The Wrexham one's worked. It's easy to buy an English club.
There's hundreds of them, isn't there?
There's hundreds of them. So many of them have bad owners.
Oh, yeah.
And let's be honest, relatively bigger fan bases going to the games in Scotland, and you tend to get in Scottish football unless you're looking at the very top league.
Oh, this is actually something I did see genuinely. Apparently, Snoop Dogg is looking at Celtic. I don't know how true it is. But he would like to buy.
Not true.
He said, "Oh, I'd like to buy Celtic at some point if I can."
He just ruined Celtic, so Robert would probably quite up for that.
I don't know how true it was. It was like one of your shitty Facebook things.
The other thing being that it's much easier to find English football on telly in America, I'd imagine. And like obviously they care about England. Very interesting that the ones people are thinking about buying is Tranmere, who are so close to Wrexham. And the fact that Wrexham was the one that was picked, obviously interesting a bit because it's Wales and interesting because they're quite a big club who are down a bit. But you'd expect lots of American focus to be London-centric. And the more you think about it, Burnley are owned by some lot of Americans who are Mormons, I think.
Tom Brady? No, Tom Brady's
Tom Brady's
sorry.
Birmingham, and they're spaffing a shit ton of money.
Michael Eisner from Disney, he was Portsmouth for a while. Might still be.
Will Ferrell. Ferrell?
I think so. Can't mind.
They were at Portsmouth. They might still be at Portsmouth.
Carlisle
are owned by a group of Americans. Like, every Premier League football club is soon going to be owned by Americans. Every EFL club is soon going to be owned by Americans. And Vincent Tan, because he's never going to sell it. But that's like, for me, it's a big problem. It's why, as much as people say no, it's why I really believe in a football regulator in England. Football regulator for the whole of the UK, if I'm brutally honest, because I think football should be for the fans. I fully believe in the Germany 50+1 rule. Though that can obviously be open to exploitation. Football isn't rich people's playthings. As many people say it, I had a really big argument at work with someone who were like, oh my God, I love the Wrexham documentary. Aren't Wrexham amazing? I was like, no. They might do good things for the community, but being owned by a group of film stars is like just as bad as being owned by an oil tycoon. It's just because we like the film stars and they're American. If they were owned from a country we didn't like, then they would be terrible.
Actually, notable, we're closer to home. We have talked about it before. Carlisle now have American owners as well. Obviously, not going too well for them at the moment, but it'll be a long game, let's be honest. But just get my money's worth in there.
Yeah.
Jake says Will Ferrell owns part of the thing that does Leeds. So
he definitely used to be part of Portsmouth. Other question, unless anyone's got anything sensible from the live chat, but I think otherwise.
No, Kieran says he disagrees with you.
Well, that's fine. It must be nice being wrong. He also supports Annan, so I know he is wrong. With the appointment of Tuchel as England manager, Eddie Howe apparently not even being approached. What motivation is there for English managers to push to the top level? These are just great things that I can rant about for ages, so I'll let you guys go first.
I don't think there is any really aspirations for the England up and coming English managers of wanting the pressure of that job at the moment. But then it could take one to win a trophy, and that's your career. That's you established yourself. But let's be honest, the absolute ridicule that Southgate gets, I would say it's probably off-putting for a lot of managers.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think there's been many English managers, not in my lifetime anyway, but they do just seem to get pelters for doing nothing. Obviously, they don't win things, so I don't know.
Like, one, let's make it very clear, I do not buy into the belief that you have to be from that country to manage the national team. It should be the best candidate for the job, regardless of where you're from. Two, I don't think it was worth interviewing Eddie Howe for the England job because I don't think he would have took it in any case. I think it probably is, and like I probably think it probably is a job for him, but probably not right now. Three, there are not very many good English managers.
I think we discussed this before that we've reckoned that Howe's probably the best one out of the bunch, which sums it up really.
Like, there's not many in the Premier League. An English manager has never won the Premier League.
Yes.
I'm going through just like, so like, we know there's not a lot of good managers in the Premier League, right? A lot of good English managers in the Premier League at all, really. You've got like Liam Manning at Bristol City, John Eustace at Blackburn. I'm going through kind of the Championship clubs. Liam Rossini at Hull. There's not a ton of people who stand out.
They're up and comers
I would-
to this. I just don't
Let's
know.
see. No, fine. I was going to say, Allardyce had 100% record, so
Not Leeds.
Yeah. Pagan says, no English manager is good enough to win anything with England. Kieran says Graham Potter should not have taken the Chelsea job, but the money would have been worth it. Kieran is also right. It is £13,700 for a UEFA Pro license. So for coaches to even be in the Prem, they have to take the priority player route. I am led to believe that is the case. I read a lot about Twitter when this happened at the time of Tuchel, that lots of people cannot get in. Like lots of aspiring coaches at the bottom rung cannot get onto courses, not even for the pro license, but just for like the A license in England, because there's a priority player route and lots of ex-players are because they don't have anything better to do and they might go into coaching, which doesn't seem fair. Lots of players are being lots of people are being encouraged because Wales, as a result of changes made by Gary Speed, God bless his soul, and other people in the FAW around the Gary Speed era, Wales now has one of the best coaching pathways in the world. And there are lots of people going to Wales. It was formerly Scotland, and I think lots of people still do the Scottish route as well. But lots of people use the FAW and the SFA coaching pathway. And if that is a problem in England, the FA need to do something about it. Like, there was momentum about this, that they don't like the fact that Tuchel's in charge. So use it to make meaningful change. It's not like there is not enough money in the English game for this not to happen.
architect of their own downfall.
Jake's reminded that Liam Rossini has left Hull and joined Strasbourg.
That's
That's great. He's going to get the Chelsea job in about 3 years' time then, because Strasbourg are now part of the Chelsea family. He's going to get the Chelsea job in 3 years' time and have it for about 3 months.
Good old Liam.
Other questions, just in case anyone else wants to ask anything in the chat. What's next for 3 Pints? Keep your eyes posted on the socials. There's going to be some more Football League adventures, probably maybe 1 or 2 this side of Christmas. Turns out this side of Christmas I'm a very busy man. We are going to do something a bit special for Christmas, we hope. So keep your eyes peeled if you'd like something kind of 3 Packs Christmas special content. We're going to keep going with the episodes and see what happens. If you've got any ideas for things we can talk about, we're always looking for things to talk about. We made a few changes this season to be more kind of review of the previous weekend. Let us know how you feel about those, both in the chat, or you can drop us a message on social media. Let us know what you want to see. We are open to suggestions.
Nail in the head.
Yes.
Other questions. How many sausages could Greg put up his bum? No comment. What has a better chance? United achieving top 4 this year or Greg going to Turkey? There's no chance of me going to Turkey for a hair transplant. I assume that's what you mean. If you mean on a holiday, then it's probably that.
What about like turkey teeth?
No.
Does not ask.
I'm scared of
for
medical
one.
procedures. There's no chance anything of that is happening. I think you'll find it'll be 3 for 1. I'm getting a BBL at the same time.
Fair. Might as
Heard
well-
it here
well done.
first.
You gotta vlog that. Can you vlog that?
Live stream it.
Aye, just set the get a tripod set there and pat it on.
Let's just hope it works first time.
Just to go back to the pro license debate, Kieran says England has good coaches and managers, but if they can't get the pro license, they can't compete in English divisions, so they get stuck in regional divisions. KEL says Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland are the only good ones, but it's still expensive. They just don't prioritise players as much. That's good to know. Again, that's probably an English FA problem. Like, if they want to let other people go do it, then it needs to fundamentally probably be a bit cheaper as well. And Matthew says, evening gentlemen, happy 100th.
Thanks.
And on that note, we are going to move on because Robert has a category game for us.
Yes, I do. I do indeed. There'll be no cutting in music now because we're live. Yeah, I'm sticking with the theme of 100. And
Oh, no.
I've made a category game called the 100 Club.
Oh,
I've
no,
got
Kyle.
three categories. Who Greg will be the challenger, I believe, because Kyle beat me last week.
He always wins.
For those who don't know, the category game is three categories. Whoever wins the most wins. Challenger gets to pick the first category. It's a game of back and forth, and I am the quizmaster. Kieran says he loves the category games, so I hope this is up to your standard. Greg, the selections are
Cool.
that got really bright there. The selections are Premier League, Scottish Premiership, or England.
Kyle, for your reference, I'm going to close the... Like, I'm going to keep the live chat open, but not use it. Please, obviously, like, we're going to do this on a trust basis. Let's not look at the live chat while we do this.
You can see that it's not on.
Yep. I'll have Premier League, please.
Okay. I'll wait till Kyle's ready to rock and roll. Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Because
God.
Matthew has said, will the WWE belt be getting an update?
Matthew asked nicely, so Matthew gets.
Oh, so
So,
Kyle saw that Matthew asked nicely, despite promising he wasn't looking at the live chat.
Still not on.
Get that phone locked.
Right. Premier League. So this is what I'm doing for. Players who have scored 100 or more goals in the Premier League. There's 34 answers.
Cool. Alan Shearer.
Yeah.
Aguero.
Rooney.
Harry Kane.
Thierry Henry.
Mohamed Salah.
Here come the punts. Frank Lampard.
Checking
Jamie
off the
Vardy.
list, but I've lost them now.
Oh,
Because Haaland's not far away, but I don't think Haaland's done it yet. I don't think. Again, I'm going to gamble and say Cristiano Ronaldo. Which I think. Oh, thank God.
How many was 34?
Yeah, there's quite a lot.
Surely. Oh, you said him, thank God. Son.
Steven Gerrard.
Bastard. Any bother.
I take it this is from the start of the Premier League, by the way.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm going to get this wrong. Andy Cole.
Robbie Fowler. Maybe too early.
I don't think he's on the list.
I got to.
I'm pretty confident.
No, I do apologise. He's on the list.
Oh, thank Lord.
I apologise.
Dwight
I
York.
thought he was, and I just couldn't find him.
I thought you said Dwight Gale there.
Dwight York is.
That's threw me off there.
Yeah, it's threw me off too.
How many the fuck you said?
Didier Drogba.
Raheem Sterling.
Oh, that's a good shout. That is a good shout. I'm just needing a minute to have a wee think. I was also very confused about what Kyle was doing.
Some
But
fantasy
that's-
player music.
Oh, that's fine. Sorry, I'm having a nice wee think.
Clock is ticking. I
knew
have
that
to
would
dash
happen.
you.
The only name in my head I'm pretty sure is wrong is Nicholas Anelka.
Pardon my French. How many have we got left?
Quite a few. We've maybe
Quite a
done
few.
about 15 or 16. There's definitely a ton left.
I've just been crossing names off as we go.
Gosh, you said him now.
Clock is ticking. I have to dash you.
Annual storage. Funny.
Can I try one that was my backup?
Yeah.
Ruud van Nistelrooy. Good job I didn't say him.
You did say Thierry, didn't you?
I did say
Yeah,
Thierry.
Thank
Yeah.
God.
Names I've still got: Jermaine Defoe, Michael Owen, Les Ferdinand, Terry Sheringham, Robin van Persie, Floyd Hasselbank, Robbie Keane, Romelu Lukaku,
Oh,
Ian Wright, Dion Dublin, Emil Heskey, Ryan Giggs, Peter Crouch, Paul Scholes, Darren Bent, Matt Letizia, and Sadio Mane.
oh, Matt Letizia was there. He was in the back pocket as well.
Matt Letizia was on 100.
I thought Giggs, but I thought he never scored any. Like
It's just-
underwhelming.
109.
Yeah, but he played for like what 20 seasons, so he just needs 5 a season.
I know. I just thought he never did. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think Haaland can't be that far behind now.
I thought it was on
No, he's on
99.
74, I think, or something like that.
Oh, there we
70
go.
something. I didn't know.
Done that by the end of the season.
Yeah, so, right, next category. Kyle, you've got to choose between the Scottish Premiership and England.
We'll do England. Keep things.
Okay. Right, I went for players who have 100 or more caps for England. There's 9 answers.
Only 9.
Yep.
Cool.
Well, Wayne Rooney. Well, that's right.
120.
What?
Steven Gerrard.
A man like Bex.
So far, we've got 2, 3, and 4 on the list.
John Terry.
Sir Peter Shilton.
Yeah,
I was saving that one for a rainy day.
125, most capped.
I was
Bobby
saving
Moore.
that. Yeah,
Bobby Moore, Ashley Cole, Bobby Charlton, Frank Lampard, Billy Wright, and Harry Kane. Harry Kane's on 101 according to my
yes, he is.
statistics. It
We're
was
not
I
a
thought I'd go
Kane.
for one that I thought I'd go for one that like I don't know why I went for John Terry, but I had others in my back pocket.
Yeah, John Terry's probably the worst one to pick because he was in the team for as long.
Yeah, I don't know why I did that.
Early behaviour.
Right, last category. Players who have Scottish Premiership. Players who have scored 100 or more goals in the Scottish Premiership. 5 answers.
Oh God, thank God, Henrik Larsson.
You dick.
Is this what year is this from? That's important.
I went off the Scottish Premiership website. I don't know. I can't remember.
That doesn't help me.
No, it doesn't help me either.
Ali McCoist.
That's the one that I was thinking about. Yay! That would have been that was my debate about
Nah,
yeah.
since it was like the reformed Premiership, like the Premier League.
Ah.
Well, come on. I've talked about it often enough when I was at the game. Chris Boyd, he's the top scorer. Henrik Larsson,
Miller?
Kyle said, Lee Griffiths, Scott
No.
McDonald, and Anthony Stokes.
Oofed.
Ish.
Well, I'm glad I got to go first this week. Because
Well done.
had that been the other way around, Kyle, I would have done the exact same thing as you and gone with an Ali McCoist.
I said Derek Larson. I probably still would have went with McCoist.
Oh.
I should have it's one of those. I mean, since the new Premiership. Sorry. Well, there you go. I hope you enjoyed that. Different format.
Yes, there's lots of stuff in the chat about the category game, which we can look at the end. But let's do the FPL updates, the moment chat's all been waiting for, and then we will bid you adieu. Because we've been going for more than an hour.
I'm not doing it. I refuse to do it.
Well, tough, I've asked you to do it.
FPL's dead to me. Well, I think we all know who's sitting rock bottom.
Is it Ali again?
It's not me. I thought it was me. That's why I said that. It's indeed Ali. I am top above him by a whole 12 points.
Hey!
So I'm 12th. Matthew, you're not doing too well either.
Hey!
Sitting in 11th. We'll do a full run through if folk are in chat anyway. Yeah, so Matthew's sitting 11th. Joint 11th, I might add, with Robert.
Hey!
I'm sitting 10th. It says 10th.
And he used these triple captain.
Yeah, I don't know why it says 10th when you're in the same points, but
I'm sorry, Matthew must be better.
then Suad is sitting 1 point ahead in 466. I cannot pronounce that last name. Greg in 8th.
Shall we just say, I know it's not relating to everyone else in the chat, but within this wee podcast team, natural order. Natural order.
Just wait till next week. I'll beat you again. It's only taking you till how many weeks in? Mr. I'm good at FPL.
I'm shit at FPL. I'm just lucky.
I'm just gonna move on because you've annoyed me with
Good.
that. Sorry, last place on based on being a bit ick is Greg. No, seventh place is Andrew Malaby, sitting comfortable in the European spots. Then we've got Ash in sixth place. Then Faludru Johnson in fifth place. My phone's crap, I can't see that name. Rick Bithell in fourth. Then the top three is Jacob Bensant.
Well done, Jacob.
Then Mr. Annan, Kieran Thompson, with a
Kieran.
98 point week, sure.
Can't argue with that one.
Triple
Did he
captain
triple
in
captain
Buemo.
Haaland? Oh,
Mbeumo.
triple captain Buemo. Wow.
So yeah, he's closed the gap on Kyle Pagan, who's not so comfortable anymore. Still kind of.
But he is still top, so we'll give him a bit of credit. Well done, Kyle.
That's
Yes. And that, folks, is the end of episode 100 and the end of our live stream, which will be disappearing in a minute. I'm away on my holiday next week, so I don't know if these two have a plan to get someone else. If someone else would like to join, please put your audition in the chat or drop us a DM on social media. Robert and Kyle will think about it.
Drop us an Indeed as well.
I can't promise anything. Kyle did just say there, as it does say, we do need a full CV, and we would like, I think I could replace Greg because. That's the one sentence we'd like you to answer in the chat. I think I could replace Greg because. Get that in the chat and on the social media. And we will see you next week. Or, well, I won't. I'll probably watch this after Robert's edited it. I'll see you in 2 weeks. This will see you next week. So I will see you very soon.
Yes, thank you for listening. Bye.
Godspeed for the live.